Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Zach, the Dark Conservatarian, and I have got my Gadsden flag right here behind me because I'm going to be talking about a little facet of libertarianism that, unfortunately, a lot of conservatives that I have been coming across do not seem to know about, particularly people in my personal life, and that is the usage of the word victimless when we go talking about an action or a crime. The term victimless crime, essentially. Um, Particularly from the libertarian worldview and how we use it and in the particular context, like in the most literal sense of the word victim or being victimized, it could like apply to like a whole lot of circumstances. It could apply to in the area of, say, free speech, for example. Like you could be a victim of somebody else's bullying, not even like a just harassment. It could be like any other kind of a bullying that does not get into the literal area of harassment, of where the person is like just literally following you around or whatever. It could be like a one-off like interaction with every now and then, and the person just seems to find it in them to do nothing but just be a jerk to you. And so you could be a victim to that. It not necessarily goes into the realm of harassment, but it's still kind of bullying right there. But I would think that unless conservatives go literally advocating that we start arresting every single 12-year-old who calls a 10-year-old fat and starts picking on them for being fat, then I do not think that the conservatives want to literally ban every single thing that we could call under the sun as something that a person could potentially be a victim of, in especially the most menial of senses, like a 12-year-old calling a 10-year-old a fat lardo or whatever else have you. What we actually mean when we use the word victimless to say that an action is victimless is that we're meaning that nobody's rights are suffering when a certain action is being done. The act itself that we are actually trying to defend, that is. Like, for example, more particularly, it's when it comes to, like, weed, specifically. The action itself of possessing weed and smoking weed, selling or buying weed, does not victimize anyone. If you don't want weed, you can just, like, literally just refuse from buying it, or refusing to have anything to do with it, or even completely disassociate from potheads if you really want to. Now, obviously, there is not much that you can do about the horrible smell of it because of how much more prolific it is becoming nowadays. But unless you're going to start advocating like a freaking Karen at a homeowners association to say that, oh, the neighbor has like a too much dog shit in their yard that they really need to pick up, and the smell is like just polluting my nose right now and making a very unpleasant smell for me right now. Unless you're gonna like advocate for government intervention and that sort of stuff, then I don't see of how that you can say that just smelling weed is somehow making you a victim of something terrible. Buying, selling, smoking, and possession of weed by itself is victimless. Now, when I go saying that anything from a libertarian viewpoint is victimless and therefore, because it doesn't, infringe on anyone else's rights, somebody else will like try to shoehorn in and attach some other action or motive that happens that may come along side by side with whatever I am trying to defend. And specifically when it comes to weed, I have like people that say, no, it's not victimless because people murder other people to try and sell off their weed. Or no, it is not victimless because it'll ruin families because a parent will like smoke it way too much to where that they just become really, really neglectful. And with both of those, I just gotta say it's ridiculous. You are not like a victim of the weed itself in that case. You are a victim of the murder when it comes to some kind of violent drug lord who, I don't know, for some reason feels like he's got to kill people in order to protect his business. You're not a victim of that person's weed business by itself. You're a victim of them killing you. And even when it comes to like ruining families, you're not a victim of weed, you are a victim of neglectful parents. believe it or not, people can take weed in like moderation without being a neglectful parent or being a neglectful anyone for that matter. And this doesn't even like cover the side of it of when it comes to like somebody who is like a single, is somebody who's single and just living by themselves. Like, what about that case? What if they're just living by themselves and they have no cares to care about in the world? I mean, can we agree at least that that is pretty victimless? Who is the victim in that case? And if people want to like go bringing up the example of well, people can be have their senses inhibited by taking weed when it comes to operating machinery at the job or anything else like that. Well, in that case, advocate for banning alcohol because literally that happens too. People like get drunk or whatever right before coming to work or hungover or whatever else have you. Are we as conservatives gonna start, or I say we very loosely because at the core of my beliefs I'm a libertarian, not a conservative, but I still like largely like identify and empathize with a lot of conservatives. But even though a lot of conservatives like frustrate the absolute fuck out of me, but still, are we conservatives really going to start advocating for banning alcohol because potentially people can be a victim of somebody on the workplace like being hungover or whatever else have you? By the same logic that potentially somebody in the workforce can be, I don't know, have a weed, even just a marginal bit of a weed like in their blood system. Like, where does the line where is the line drawn at? Like, where? This could like apply to anything else as well. Like when it comes to guns, for example, is an example that I thought about earlier. Are guns victimless? Gun ownership and even gun usage, just general usage, not usage on other people, is that victimless or not, conservatives? I mean, yes, we as conservatives and libertarians, we all agree that gun ownership by itself is rather victimless. But leftists will still say that, oh no, guns are not victimless because gun ownership is not victimless because, somebody will like accidentally shoot themselves because they have like an accident at the range. They accidentally like have a malfunction with the gun that causes the gun to like fire on them by accident or mistake or there'll be like a school shooting. There are like gun homicides that happen all the time. Even in cases like that, you're not a victim of some innocent bystanders' ownership and general practice of a gun. You are a victim of the serial killer, the mass shooters shooting. Nothing else. And of course, I don't know if leftists know this, but murder is already illegal. That victimizing act is already illegal. And in the case of like back on the drugs, back onto weed, killing people because they found out that you have a stash and you're afraid that they might like rat you out to the cops or whatever. It is not the weed. Okay, gather up my thoughts here again. You are a victim of the drug lord murdering you, and murder is already illegal in that case too, for that matter. Or in the case of like neglectful parents, CPS exists for a reason. It's already pretty criminally. Well, I do not know if it's like how stringent the laws are, but it's still like pretty frowned upon in society to be a neglectful parent. Yeah, it is already pretty much illegal for you to be a neglectful parent, for you to like not treat your kids right, to neglect feeding them or whatever else have you. So if I need to like go any further, then I will have to. But I think that this is like a good starting point base right now as it is. That is what we libertarians mean when we say that an action is victimless. Any like attached issue to the thing that we are like It doesn't matter whatever issue that you want to attach to the one particular thing that we are defending. Like, honestly, I got in trouble. You guys have probably seen my porn ban video that I did and how that it relates to libertarianism. Honestly, the production and viewing of porn itself is the thing that is victimless. I got in trouble like over porn ban debates, and people just keep on insisting that no, it is not victimless because human trafficking is used in the production of porn. Not in all of it, not in all porn. So the porn specifically that is where that human trafficking is involved, that is not victimless. Yes, obviously, duh. But porn of where that the lady, like, or man, whoever, the porn star goes consenting to the porn director, hey, I want to help you make this piece of porn, use my body, regardless if, like, in the future they go looking back and regretting the decision. Like, let's be honest here, people. When it comes to anything, not just porn, future plausible regret of a decision is not what determines whether or not that somebody's rights were violated. If you, like, in the present tense, gave a solid consent to do something, then you were not a victim at that point. Your rights weren't violated. I mean, I'm sorry that something like happened to you, that you, like, did a decision that you regretted, like helping to make some porn by putting your own naked body on display. Sorry that happened. But ultimately, sorry, your rights weren't violated. You, in the present tense right there, you weren't really a victim. But yeah, like I say, emphasis, porn where that human trafficking is used, obviously, somebody was victimized. It's not victimless. But a porn star that, like, consents, gives pretty solid consent to help with the production of porn, that is victimless, is what specifically I mean in that case as well. I mean, I could definitely go on, but I think that this video is getting long-winded as it is right now. But that is what we libertarians mean when it comes to, when we say that some action or whatever is victimless. Regardless of whatever issues that you, extenuating, is that the word I'm looking for? Regardless of what extenuating issues might kind of attach to that, to the actual issue that we are defending. And unless that extenuating issue that is actually a violation of other people's rights, where somebody actually is being victimized, unless that victimizing action, extenuating issue happens most of the time in the thing that we are calling victimless, unless if that happens a majority of the time, then the thing that we are actually defending is still victimless. If I have to, like, make another video following up on this, I will. But for right now, yeah, just can people just please stop with the way that they are, like, trying to, like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm Zach, the Dark Conservatarian. Thank you all for watching this video. See y'all later. Bye-bye.